So, with Noelle finally proving to herself that she is on level with the rest of the family, with the Silvers, that in just enough as the elves start coming out right immediately as one of them was defeated and decided this is now the time to ambush Noelle, and it is up to Nozzle and I think fan favorite Zora to try and help clean up a little bit of the mess right now. So definitely I think a lot of us were kind of bummed out with last week's chapter, considering of how short it was. It was not even that long, and I think even as well with this chapter as well, that it's still not as lengthy as we're used to. I think it was only 14, 13 pages or something like that, but it is a little bit better. So I think it's to show that maybe that people were just running out of time. I believe as well that My Hero did take a break this week as well. The fact that Tabata was still just pushing on and everything. And to be fair, this felt a little bit, there was a little bit more substance in this chapter than there was with last week's one. So definitely this one is a lot more appreciated as Noelle finally beats one of the elves, which we find out Keevan is the name of Klaus's sister or cousin or whatever she is, and all that. It's you're taking us too lightly, humans. Immediately going straight in. There's about 8 of these dudes going straight up no, we're not gonna give Noelle any space whatsoever to attack all of them. It's we've got some injured people down, let's focus down on them, we need to go and get them all down. And I was oh, well, Noelle's a bit of a problem right now, and if it wasn't for Zora coming in, it was oh, looks like my trap made it in time, as he's able to take out one of the guys, and he's you know, I felt some magic coming by, and I had a feeling that you were all gonna gather up around here, so I kind of use this as an opportunity to grab this little guy here, and he's yo, go and heal those noble people that are on the floor right now. And it was fine, he uses his bubble magic and all that and try to heal down all of them and all that. He's oh, I'm gonna take care of Nebra right now, and then he's talking to you know, Master, you know, Solid, please bring Master Nozzle over here, he's really injured and all that. And this is where Zora kind of uses his own little attitude thing, where he starts screaming look at the sight of these arrogant nobles, how sad, you can't even protect your own family, your own kin like that, Mr. Magic Knight. What a pathetic night. You're supposed to be stronger than us lower class though. Why don't you show us just how strong you are? And I was yo, stop saying that. And this is the interesting thing that with this chapter, is that when we get to see this this chapter, we actually get a little cut to this to their mother. I was oh, we're actually gonna see a little bit more of her, because we've only seen 1 or 2 scenes with her, and this is it's she's talking about you know, how proud she is and all that you're gonna be having your Grimoire acceptance next year, and it's I'm looking so much forward to what kind of magic. And she's you see as well with it's I'll be learning the stronger magic there is and all that, and I'm gonna become the strongest captain of the squad, just like you. And she's there smiling, where it's well, Nebra and Solid both took after your father, and somehow I feel as well this child as well, pointing to obviously this is Noelle before she was born, and it's I had a feeling though that you're the one out of everyone that can inherit my steel magic and all that, so use it to protect your siblings. Which you see him bulge up the holes that he has with the silver magic on there, with all his metal and all that, and he's feed this, Sully's the family name of the Silver Eagles, and everything of the Silver family. And it's immediately kind of taking a slight inspiration from Noelle, and especially with her mother and everything, whereas I can use this to kind of enhance my body a little bit, where it's I'm gonna use this, cover it, and pretty much has sort of more Kevlar, kind of more body armor, kind of protecting him from that hole. And it's we need to go, Noelle. And I'm glad that this was the case and everything, because we get to see Zora's every last one of them got some good ass magic, man, I'm jealous. And it's alright then, let me show you what I can do. He uses his ash magic, and then he showed an interesting ability that he has, which is called Coward's Revelation, which he uses on both Nozzle and Noelle, which shows them as reveals all of his traps, which I think that's a cool ass ability, that none of his ability, all of his trap stats can be sensed seemingly, or at least it takes a lot of magical prowess to at least sense these traps that he has, or even if they're just durable enough to just go through them. It's I have an ability that I can reveal them to everyone else. It's a perk in Call of Duty or something. It's here you go, have sit rep, and this will reveal some of the traps here and there. And I'm that you know what? That is an ability that is it is not personally needed, and I could see that being used in a game or something where it's like, here you go, have this kind of thing going off there. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was a nice little ability as they use that to their advantage, where it's like, let's lead them in a little bit with all these traps and everything, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna let them everyone know where my traps are, and I'm gonna use this as my advantage to try, like, it's gonna set some of them off. This is going to get Noelle and Nozzle enough time to actually go and take some of these guys down. Like, like her using, like, Roar of the Sea Dragon, him using, like, combining it with the Silver Rain, like, beating all these guys down. And it's just like, these guys don't know, like, anything about counter traps and all that. And I spend, like, days and nights developing, like, this crazy kind of magic and all that. And it's like, you know, the thing is, and all that, it's like, he admits that copy guy is stronger, though, but he's like, elves and all that, they don't know, like, what we can exactly pull off with there, where it's like, they use a combination of the Sea Dragon with, like, moving with the Silver Rain, where it's like, they have nowhere to move, so it's like, they're getting blasted by the dragon, or they're getting hit by the traps, and I'm like, that's, you know, they're using all three of their abilities and styles together to just decimate these opponents right now, so this was a nice thing. With now we're at the end with, like, Keegan, or at least that's, like, the elf name for her, and I'm like, overall, like, this chapter, like, it had a lot more substance. I think definitely helped that Zoro kind of got involved, and then they actually used a cool little ability with this one. Still not thoroughly enough to, like, kind of discuss the chapter. It's still more just straight balls to the wall, just kind of fighting that we've been seeing for a while. And I think definitely after this now, we've had enough chapters with Nozzle and, like, the Silver family, where it's like, we're probably going to have a couple of pages next week, and then swap up to someone else, because whether or not that's going to be Asta's gang, whether or not we're going to be going straight back to, like, sort of Yami, it's going to be interesting if next week we're going to go to Mimosa's team, like, whether or not we're going to head to them, because obviously we've still got 2 areas right now to head to, and the question is, like, I believe this is all still in the current part where it's like, Asta's group has not arrived yet into the capital, or this is happening right as they arrive, so this is all kind of like a whole just cacophony of just madness happening without this, like, everyone just getting around. It's like we're setting up with all these elves going on there, but this is a very big blow for them, and to be fair, this is already, like, the strongest side, I would say, of, like, this had Zora, this had Noelle, this had Nozzle, this had Nebra, like, all of them, which are a lot more stronger than, I like to say, like, Mimosa's side of the family with, like, the Vermilions, so unless, like, you know, other Vermilion families, like, if we get Fergolion and all those people coming in, then Leo is, like, Mimosa's side has probably got the most, like, problematic, I would say, out of all of them, with, like, all the people that teamed up with them, and definitely considering that, like, Yami side that has him and Jack in it, so it's going to be interesting. So whether or not we're next week going to be focusing on them, or we're going to be seeing a little bit of Jack, or who knows, maybe we might actually see a little bit of the main character a little bit, so we'll have to wait and see. But overall, like, we still have to wrap everything up with, like, Langris as well. We need to have him, and also as well that other person that we saw recently, so who knows and all that, but definitely I felt like this is a nice little wrap up for, like, the Silver family alongside with Zora, and I think, yeah, Zora was definitely the part that helped a lot more with this chapter. I felt like he added a little bit of spice to, like, the variety with his abilities, and the fact that they combined it with both Nozzle and, like, Noelle's magic, and overall I think it had an additional little weight because we finally got to see a little bit more, even if it's like a panel or just seeing more of, like, their mother, which is, like, I would love to know more about her, like, even though it's just, like, how they kind of grew up, and who knows, we might get that because maybe now Nozzle and, like, a bunch of the others might actually talk to Noelle and say, hey, this is what our mother was like, because of the fact that Noelle doesn't really know a lot about her, like, so it'd be nice, like, even though she's, like, taking up a lot, like, from her and all that, and not really knowing it, so overall, a decent chapter on there. Hopefully we can kind of get back to more of the sort of the page, like, amounts that I know a lot of people want, but then again, I don't want to bother any of them pushing them, because we've had recent news of, like, the World Trigger guy coming back, and he is now doing a couple of chapters, and then he's going straight to monthly, after, like, the horrifying, like, injury that he had, and, like, seriously, like, I do not want that to happen to anyone, and, like, the fact that that guy is even coming back is just straight up, like, kudos, like, just full respect to that, like, because a lot of people would have just stopped working the injuries, but that's, like, general just passion for, like, for your series and wanting to, like, wrap it up to the very end, and it's, like, it's nuts and all that, so, again, it's, like, I'm more lenient with this kind of stuff. Again, I prefer chapters with substance, but if I know that it's, like, this chapter came out and it was, like, it was either this or the author's health, I think I know which one to be on. I think that's the problem with some people, is that they kind of like, they do not consider that they are human beings, like writing these things, and just overall just go, yeah, whatever, and all that's just my media for the day, and just screw it. But overall, like, again, it was a fun chapter, and I'm very curious to see what you guys think. But that's all me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.